Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at the feature race at Woodbine on Saturday. It's race number 8. It's the Grade 3 Singspiel Stakes. We are going 1.5 miles on the E.P. Taylor turf course. Get involved in the Singspiel and the Woodbine Saturday card with a new DRF Bets account. Go to drf.com/bet for sign up. Learn how to get $150 in risk-free bets. Let's meet this small but fairly select field for the Grade 3 Singspiel. But Mike, bad news for you, no show wagering.
No show wagering. Oh, that really puts a cramp in my style. Listen, it's a 5-horse field. It really does have a bit of a 2-horse race look to me. I mean, do you want the speed in Tiz Slam or do you want the closer in Melmich? The other 3 horses I thought were pretty hard to make.
That's the perfect way to describe the race, and it's a perfect segue for our Timeform US Pace Projector, because the slight second choice on the morning line, the number 1 Tiz Slam, is the speed in the race, and the number 5 Melmich, the really hard-hitting, lovable 8-year-old who's banked over $1 million in his career despite being a maiden on turf from only 4 lifetime starts, is the closer. Well, let's begin with the speed. Tiz Slam utilized those tactics last time out in the Grade 3 Louisville. I think he was a little bit fortunate to catch a field of Nessie and Soglios and a couple of others in there.
True enough.
But when you give him an easy lead, he's tough to catch at 1.5 miles.
Yeah, he's a nice horse, this horse. Especially when he can get loose on the lead. And, you know, we'll see how it all plays out. I do feel like there's a chance he does get loose in this race. That makes him tough to run down. He's really hard to, take a big stand against in a race like this because you know where he's going to be early and you know where his main rival is going to be early.
And while Melmich is a maiden on turf, he got beat a dirty nose by Focus Group on the grass. That was last time out in the Pan Am down at Gulfstream Park, where Focus Group had a great ride by Irad and just shot up the rail. Javier gave Melmich a nice ride as well. He came out into the stretch. He just lost a little bit of ground, and he ended up losing the bob. That race produced 3 next out winners. The 5th place horse then came back to run a 99 buyer in his next start. That race is certainly live.
Yeah.
So while he's known for being a synthetic horse, he can step on turf, and distance is his friend.
Yeah, he loves distance, that's for sure. Yeah, I guess there's a way to look at him and feel like, he still has to prove it as a turf horse. I guess I wouldn't argue too hard with anybody who said that about him, although I feel like he's shown in his last 2 races that he's fine on this surface. I mean, he missed one of the unluckiest head bobs you'll ever see last time in the Pan American. That was a really good performance from him. He ran equally well in his start prior to that, the Mac d'Armada. Maybe the pace will get him beaten here, Dan, but I feel like this horse has found himself on turf lately. I think he's going to be really hard to hold off.
Avies Mesa looks like the 3rd choice in this race, and this is a relatively lightly raced 5-year-old last time out, maybe prepping in that Grade 2 Eclipse, going 1 mile and a 16th, finished directly behind a millionaire, and Are You Kidding Me, who came back to run 2nd with a 92 buyer on the synthetic. Avies Mesa on the pace projector is expected to be close, and I'm not sure that's the way Davey Morin's going to utilize this horse, because I think the distance is still somewhat of a question mark, and they may want to save something for the end.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. I mean, if nothing else, he's got to be close to Tiz Slam on the lead, but he doesn't really have to go press him. We'll see how they decide to play it. I guess, the one way to look at him, if you wanted to take a shot against the 2 favorites, you could say this horse has improved in his recent races, and he hasn't been on turf in over 2 years. So if he's just a much better horse now and coming back to grass, maybe he can bring that improvement with him over to this surface and sort of make a race of it. I had a tough time looking at him that way, but it's a possibility.
Sir Sahib showed up at Woodbine for his first start of the season on a synthetic surface. He came with a big last to first run to win. I want to know what he was facing at 1-2 that day, but maybe Lasix made all the difference.
Yeah, it was first time Lasix. Now he's 2nd off the left. He was off a layoff there as well. He's one of those horses, it's pretty easy to say when you look at him on paper. He's got a lot of improving to do on this field.
Starts with a drink seems a little bit overmatched. The most recent win came back in 2017 when he was entered for $10,000.
It feels like he might have just got hustled into this race to make it go.
Let's take a look at our top picks for the Singspiel Stakes. I'm hoping pace makes the race. I'm hoping Tiz Slam builds up enough of a lead on Melmich turning into the stretch that he can hold off the old Gladiator, because you know he's going to be firing late. For me, it's 1-5. I'm assuming it's 5-1 for you. Youth just thinks the best horse is going to equalize the pace situation.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I looked at it. I really like Melmich's last 2 races. I know the pace scenario could be tough for him to overcome, but his last 2 races are going to have on 5-1.
1-5 for me, 5-1 for Mike. It's the Grade 3 Singspiel Bet the Woodbine card on Saturday with a new DRF Bets account. Sign up at drf.com/bet. Learn how to get $150 in risk-free bets. DRF Bets, Ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for the Singspiel, 4:55 Eastern. Best of luck.